Well, I must admit, it took me a long time to get to like most of the characters in the New Testament. In the Old Testament, I didn't like too many of them, but in the New Testament, there are some interesting characters. Of course, Jesus Christ is a pretty brilliant one, and we all like to misuse and abuse what we understand of him. And we'll get to him eventually, but I think we're going to start with the revelation of John, which of course he's always talking about Jesus anyway. A lot more than Paul does, but Paul is also an interesting character, and perhaps we'll get to him. Perhaps we'll go through the whole bloody thing. Anyway, happy is the one who reads this book, and happy are those who listen to the words of the prophetic message and obey what is written in this book. For the time is near when all things will happen. No, I think everybody should write that in their book. And then people won't get so upset when they see it and people don't believe it. But oddly enough, John writes in a lot of things that if you believe in God, you will not be able to understand John. And if you believe, well, God is actually a symbol for believing in the law. The law is a framework for the elite to keep the masses in order. So actually believing in God is believing in the divinity of the elite. And that was how it was, that Moses was the voice of God, and he wasn't the only one. Every other tyrant of the ages, I mean, it still happens. The one that has all the power is representing the Word of God, and I guess you would say the Pope is doing that now, and the Pope is sort of pretty well your modern day Moses. He says what is, and either you believe it or you can, whatever. I think I probably lost my path for today. But the point is, with these three little ditties, that it's the language, and the reason the Bible is such a precious book, or any book that's been written thousands of years ago, is because there are messages being sent by people who are 2,000 or 6,000 years dead. And oddly enough, the Old Testament is a warning of exactly what's happening to us still. And the New Testament is the same thing. And if you could only stop believing in God and interpret it as what it's meant to say, it is warning us over and over again, just like everybody else who's writing a book, that we're slaves. And we've got to get out of it. And ultimately, our language is poisoned, which means ultimately God has been poisoned, because our God is language. It cannot be nailed down. As soon as you put it in a book, it starts becoming hypocritical and contradictive. It's a thing that has to evolve, and it probably will not be done evolving ever. I mean, once you stop moving in a direction, it's the same as not existing. When something stops, it's over. That's why I cannot understand why people want to nail down evolution, or, well, I can understand why they want to nail down Jesus Christ. I don't know if we'll talk about it tonight. We'll see. We'll save that for another day.